you and your dad shoes.
And we're live.
What's up, happy peeps? Here for the Rustbelt Tools and Tattoo stream live. Pretty sweet. We got the Rustbelt Mechanic Tattoo, got the stencil on, and we're going to be doing some tattooing with my lovely wife here, Ashley. Pretty sweet. You ready to do this?
Yeah, are you ready?
Do it.
Okay.
I'm going to have my assistants here give me some chat feed because I can't see nada. How's everybody's weekend going? Who all got like a shit ton of snow and took your off-roading vehicles out in it? Hopefully lots of people.
I may have to adjust that.
Don't cry on live stream.
Don't cry. Oh, no. Would you make fun of me if I did cry?
Yes.
I would make fun of you.
Yes,
I would make fun of me too. I don't know what dad that one.
There's a cord in the middle of this stream.
Oh, because of this, yeah.
Yeah.
I can fix that.
Line number 1 going down.
Can you give me a piece off?
Yes, I can.
We've got a sweet background crew going in. We got cameras here, and oh, that's good.
Actually,
you don't need
no,
no tape.
I'm good. It's just I can just drape it over that.
I got it.
And
I'm
Lance said,
using
"Damn,
it.
I should have stopped by the shop."
Well, the shop is technically closed right now, so I am the
VIP.
only VIP experience going on right here.
I think I might do some swapping of the cameras though.
Why?
Like in stream, like I'll give the tattoo and well, no, I guess it's fine. Warren says, "What's going on, guys?"
What's up, Warren? So another thing, I know that all the winners from last week, I still haven't received all my Rustbelt Mechanic, the vinyls yet. He's got half of them done right now, so I'm just waiting on getting those still. So I got to get those out, and the gift cards are still going to go out probably tomorrow. So I'll be able to get those ones out, and then I'll be shipping. I was waiting on them all to go out at the same time. So the 2 boxes to the winners for those to go out tomorrow or the next day as well. And before anybody asks, no, I'm not giving anything away this time.
Except your good looks.
My love.
That Rustbelt love.
So did anybody go out and have fun in all the lots of snow that we got? At least we did here. I guess people in Hawaii and Texas, I guess not so much.
Justin Trinidad says, bunch of snow tire installs.
Ooh.
Andrew V says they got hit with a massive low of 45 degrees in Florida.
Oh shit! You guys
Do they
didn't
even
know what to do.
Like, do you guys have jackets?
I think it's the equivalent.
Do you guys
down
have
there.
closed-toed shoes?
I think the equivalent down there is that they still go buy eggs and milk and bread at 45 degrees. So
Dude, yeah, they mad rushed the freaking Walmarts because it was gonna get crazy up in there.
Everyone had a huge craving for French toast.
JRC says I had fun shoveling it. Not.
Oh, I bet you had a lot of fun shoveling it. Come on now. Now, JRC also, you got to look at the forecast for next weekend. Kind of looking forward ahead, and they're calling for another big old batch of snow for next weekend, too. So another little update for you guys who didn't know. Next weekend is going to be a really special set of videos that we're going to be doing. Going to be going up to the Chi-Town up by JRC. And we're going to be doing some live stream up there. We're probably going to do that one on Saturday. We're going to do a chat between answering questions and answers and stuff on the difference between the auto shop life for good old Jim there and the dealership life with me. So if you guys are going to have any other big old questions for the 2 of us, make sure you get those all jotted down for next weekend too.
Michael Smothers says, get a 5mm snap-on wrench tattoo while you're there, and I'll donate $50.
5mm snap-on wrench. Have to be perfectly sized.
Or get a 10mm socket so you'll never lose it.
I'd have to put
That's fucking genius.
it. No, the funnier thing would be if you put it in an area you couldn't see. You know,
Are they,
you
like-
put it in the middle of your
10
back,
millimeter. No, right in your butt crack.
right in the butt crack, because you
10
never gonna
millimeter
find
socket right in the crack.
Saving it for later.
That's just not right.
it. Or on my finger, so I'd never lose it.
Jacob Allman says, I did buy a couple stickers through Facebook. I'm guessing they're getting made right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all those. I sent out the white one that the first person had ordered, and then the colored ones, I'm not sure. I don't know if I received one from Jacob Allman. I'll have to look at that one. I think I received two orders from James Vihicola or something like that. I'm terrible with names. Sorry about that. But I know we got those, so I'll have to look into that one, man. If you got a question about that, just send me an email too, and I'll make sure that one gets together too. Because, like I said, I don't have the vinyls yet, so I will be hopefully getting those here in the next, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. They've got like half my order done, and then they should be weeding through the other half because for some reason I got this really complicated vinyl sticker, so they got to sit there and weed through like
All your
50
beard
pieces of beard detail
My
because
bad.
you can't rush the perfection on it, you know.
Aiden Lodo says hi from Australia.
What's up, man?
Michael Smothers says either on the arm or on the hand, and he'll donate $50 for the 5mm. Someone else said let's get crazy and do a 5.5mm tank.
5.5.
Aaron, I'm
Jaworski.
horrible. Yes, that guy.
Yep.
He's asking what tattoo gun or tattoo machine does your wife use?
It's an easy tap.
Easy Tat rotary
No,
No,
or a pen?
pen.
Easy Tat pen.
I would have used my Mickey Sharps today, but it's too loud. So
Yeah, that Mickey Sharps that we got you. It's pretty badass. Little custom. Everything you order from Mickey Sharps is custom made, right? Custom ordered. So
Oh, I
she
should've got
has
that.
a nice Mickey Sharps tattoo gun.
Should've had her
that,
send
she
me
likes
you
that.
to
just
use.
said gun. I'm gonna smack you. It's not a gun.
Is it one of those things?
Yes,
It is.
it's that.
It's not a
thing.
magazine. What is it?
It's a
Tattoo machine.
it's a tattoo machine.
A machine.
Tattooing apparatus.
I got
It's
you.
not a gun.
Well, I'm
God.
glad you corrected me. You know, it's the difference between, like, is it magazine and clip? Everybody freaks out between that one too. I don't want to be that guy, but you know.
Justin Trinidad says, how do you take care of fresh ink in the shop? No fuel line or brake line repairs, that's for sure.
No, this one is not going to be really that bad. The bad ones was when I had to, have stuff on my wrists and everything. Normally, during shop, I'll just have it wrapped and I'll have a bandage on it for the first couple of days, which really won't be too bad. Plus, it's half to 3/4 covered by my sleeve anyways, so it's not going to be that
Budget Tool says, oh, you're really putting my name on you.
bad. He wishes.
Let's see. Kevin Bulla says, I'm late to the party. What tat we getting?
The Rustbelt Mechanical logo. We've got awesome enough to have some fresh artwork done on the Rustbelt Mechanic logo. So it is nice and redone here. So we've got Lindsay coming around to give you guys the idea on what the finished tattoo will come out as. Now, obviously today,
Let me know when you can actually see it.
Yep, we can see it.
put it in front of the small one.
Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, had I thought ahead, I would have had Ashley send me the image and I would have put it up in the corner as a reference. But, yeah, I didn't think ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Not that.
But yeah, we got it redesigned a little bit, so it's gonna look way badass. I love the new details to it.
Budget Tool says, I'm about to copyright that logo and sue you.
I see how it is. Uh-huh. I think I got a pretty good claim on that stake there.
Ryan Lester says, hi from the UK.
I'm the one that designed the damn thing.
I know. I is you. You is I.
Is that like the royal we?
It is like
Yes,
the royal we.
It is totally the royal we.
Heather says, Ron, your children says hi.
The mini use.
the mini me's at home.
So we took the kids and the pup out to play in the snow today. So we got like 7-ish inches, right around there. We got about 7 inches of snow. And insert the "that's what she said" joke.
I was waiting for it, dude. I was trying to concentrate, so I couldn't like jump in.
But
So we got about that much snow, and we took the pup out to play in the snow. And so it's the first time she's seen snow. And dude, she went bananas today. She was running back and forth. We took her out while it was still snowing, and she was just biting and yipping at all the freaking snow falling, trying to eat it. She's got this fetish for ice where she just has to have it. Anytime our ice machine goes off, she's all about it. She's got to eat it. So this nice, cool fluff was like whipped cream for her. She loved it.
Working to Relax says, "Hi guys, and Miss Rustbelt Mechanic. That's a badass tattoo."
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
definitely going to be.
Andrew V says he got 1 inch of leaves.
Ooh, just 1 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Poor thing.
Robert Munoz says, "Heyo."
What's up, man? What do you mean? You changed your account? Now you're Robert Munoz and not Public Enemy?
Well, I saw Public Enemy come in first, first, but let's see. Warren says, "Any new tool purchases, Kyle or Ron?"
Yes. So I've got quite a
Is
few.
there a week that you don't purchase something new?
I didn't buy anything this week.
Not you, him.
Very
He just
rarely.
bought tools at Home Depot.
Yeah, I got
Good
a.
Lord.
We're gonna have midweek probably this next week. We're gonna have a winter tool haul Home Depot run that we made. I've been aching to have some new vice grips lately, so I bought a plethora of some of the new Milwaukee ones. Some of the ones that actually Jim JRC gave away in his giveaway this last week, they look really badass, and they've got some really cool design to them. And my vice grips that I currently have, they're I think like 10, 15 years old at least. Some are even older than that because I robbed them out of my dad's toolbox when I started at first. So we got some vice grips. I got a new shop light for at home. A cool new air chuck that I'm trying out for another company, and a couple little things here and there. So we'll just do like one whole tool haul video on all of those. But yeah, it'll be a pretty cool one.
Autobahn Dan says, "Sup guys, how's that blue oval tattoo going?"
You wish you could have that blue oval tattoo come this way. The closest that I'm ever going to come to a blue oval tattoo.
A blue what?
Blue oval, a Ford tattoo.
Oh.
The Ford there's a Ford Mustang hood literally 4 feet away from me with
Here, I'll
some
show
custom art on it from one of the artists here that does custom whatever.
Paint
Pudding.
airbrush. No, custom airbrushing.
Custom airbrush.
One of our apprentices.
Custom pudding.
Custom pudding,
Yep.
They're feeling fancy.
So I got that Mustang hood over there. So that's about as close as you're going to come to the blue oval. Sorry.
Corey Settles says, "I'm still down to get that Rust Belt logo."
Dude, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's going to get that Rust Belt swag permanently on him. You going left cheek or right cheek?
Big T says, "Hello everyone."
It wouldn't
Big
be the
T,
first time
what's
I
up?
tattooed somebody's butt.
I heard over on JRC's
Fabulous.
channel that you won a giveaway on the round 2 thanks to somebody who didn't claim their prizes from him. So congrats on winning some free tools. Milwaukee's.
Yep. On the scanner review you just did, seems like it was a launch with a different color scheme.
It really is. The hardware to it is made by Launch. Launch, their hardware, they make scanners for like 5 or 6 different companies at least. All of Matco's scan tools are Launch. Some of the extra Cornwell ones you get, they sell Launch-based things also. So the Top Don, they are all Launch-based hardware, but Launch obviously won't give up their software. So all of the software that's inside of it for their scan tool stuff is all proprietary for that one. So hardware-wise, they put it all together in the case and the processor and the whatever it's all Android-based anyways. So they put it all together, and then you put your own software into it. So yes, it is a Launch base, and I want to say when I tried to look up ones that were close to that Artipad Mini, they didn't have any US-based ones that really looked exactly like it, but there was one that they had sold over in the UK. It was like a Launch HTT something. They had that one out. But yeah, it is launch-based hardware.
Ryan Lester says, how long will that tattoo take to complete?
Probably 2 to 3 sessions. Ish.
No, you can sit too. The outline's gonna take me at least 2 hours.
We're going to try to get the outline done tonight. I've got, there's like a whole bunch of little lines and details and everything. So we're going to shoot for getting the outline done tonight. And then we'll come back and we'll get some other color and goodies done maybe later this week.
No, you gotta let this heal, though.
Fine.
Jacob says the Mustang
Dude, you're
will...
telling me I've got a sick ass piece on my arm that I just got that I want to heal too, so I can get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob says the Mustang will always have a pedestrian on the hood now.
Yes, it will. Always. Who is that, anyways? Is that a character or something? I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of.
I have no clue.
It might be, but I don't know off the top of my head. Let's see. Andrew V says, in my 15 years, never seen a Cornwell dealer, but you all have seen the gear wrench trucks over there.
We don't have the gear wrench trucks. We have Snap-on has sales rights for gear wrench things. So our Snap-on dealer sells gear wrench on their truck. And we personally don't have a Cornwell one come to our dealership either, but I've just seen it on other YouTube videos from guys who do have them.
Warren says, Captain Ron, what happened to your flat rate video earlier this week? So to answer that one, it's going to be... so you're like...
No, sorry.
To answer that, I put that out, and then there was a miscommunication between me and Kyle, so I took it back down. We are going to be re-releasing it this week. I need to re-record some stuff on it because I was sick last week when I did it, so my voice doesn't sound the best. And we're also going to put some different intros to it. So it's there, but you'll be seeing it over on Rustbelt's channel because he's been having a bunch of people ask for that too. So we will really re-release that with some added information to it as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that one's going to be pretty much a channel introduction for Captain Ron. Once we get the little details and that figured out, because I've had probably 30 or 40 people asking me about, hey, how do you guys do the Google Sheets for your flat rate setup? So we wanted to get that one out on the channel, and then it's going to be an intro for Captain Ron's channel as well, where he'll probably be doing a toolbox tour this week, maybe.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
We're going to put him under the gun now.
Yeah, it probably won't be until later in the week because unfortunately I've got to work Monday and Tuesday night at AutoZone, so I won't have time to do it on Monday or Tuesday. Because unfortunately I can't do my videos like Kyle does during the day because I'm still hourly, and my boss would be upset with me if I did that.
Yeah, that wouldn't go
So yeah, I'll probably do it maybe Wednesday night if I can, and then have it out later in the week, possibly late Wednesday evening or Thursday. So. Let's see, what else are people
Did you
saying?
see that?
Want me to request to tell everybody about the snowman story?
The snowman
I
stuff.
don't know. Today,
Apparently,
Oh, so Ron's daughter made this nice snowman that she took, a lot of time to do. It was probably a good hard worked 15 minutes that she did
For them, that's like 3 hours.
to make this snowman. So they go over and get something shiny and go someplace else to play, and the dog immediately, as soon as the kids walk away, she runs and just starts eating the head on the snowman that she just made. So yeah, the dog definitely got a little hungry and ate the snowman's head.
let's see what else we got in here. Everyone subscribe to Captain Ron's channel. I would appreciate that. Needless to say, don't order things from Harbor Freight online. Captain Ron is
Never done that before.
Captain Ron is a fucking man. I know.
Made sure to read that one out loud.
He is pretty awesome. He helps this channel keep on going.
When are you going to
Did you
start?
type that in?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't type that in. That was Distinct Rides by Davey.
Oh,
That wasn't your child.
Yeah.
Nor was it anybody of my family either. Let's see. When are you going to start tricking out some Hondas?
Tricking out some Honda is that Honda
Is
guy?
that Cupcake?
No, it's Christopher Morrison.
No,
Really,
Sorry.
Chris?
Chris Morrison.
That's what it says.
Yeah, no, not gonna happen. We ain't tricking out no Johanna mobiles. Sorry, not in the
We
cards.
should have took Jessica's fucking, was it a Focus that we used to, when we drove on vacation? And
2-liter Focus Z XE. Yeah,
we left the like Starbucks milk-based drink in the car,
curdled.
and it
Oh.
curdled, and it, like the lid opened
While we
up,
were on vacation,
and like 140-degree weather in Charleston.
Charleston, South Carolina, and it
It was
opened up, and we're like,
horrible.
"What was that smell?"
It was so bad. We just gagged.
I'm sure
for
it's like
2
the
days.
smell of death.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It's like finding one of Vance's sippy cups up in his bed that's been there for a month.
Mhm. Yeah, it was
Speaking
horrendous.
of, we can't find two of the ones with the straws.
We
One
threw
the
one
doggy.
away.
One of the dog chewed up, so we threw it
Oh,
away.
okay.
Puppy chewings.
I figured the other one.
You know, like the remote and fucking ate.
Butchie85 says tricking out a Honda would be like tricking out a Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Motherfucker!
I'm sorry, the Mini Cooper's a little bit cooler. It's at least sub BMW.
Kristen Pence says,
It
hey,
is.
don't hate on
Did
the
you say
Hondas.
it's a little bit?
Sub BMW. Here. Kristen says what?
Don't hate on the Hondas.
The Johanna mobiles.
She's just mad she can't have a Jeep.
She wants a Jeep.
We all want a Jeep.
I'm the only one that doesn't want
So
to
one
eat.
of the other funny things is Justin Dow. If you guys follow him, he put out a video this week on his top 5 hated and top 5 most loved Jeeps of all time. And I almost want to take the hated side of the top 5 ones that he had and make them into cool rides, just to say, hey, yeah, you hate it now.
So I didn't watch that video. What was some of the hated ones?
Commander was one of the.
Really?
That's one of the top. It was like number 3 on there. I want to take a Jeep Commander and just fucking pimp that out.
Dude, I'm all the way down for that.
I loved
Lift
my
out.
Commander.
I am totally all the way
I
down
loved
for
it.
that.
Lift a Commander like
Yes.
7 inches.
Yes.
Do a custom lift for
We
it.
I'm
probably
down.
still have it if I hadn't drove it off the side of the road, like into a
Ravine.
Yep.
And
So
spilled red Kool-Aid.
that
all
would be
over
something
I
cool.
did,
Now
the-
some of the other ones it'd be a little bit harder because they would. He had the Jeep Compass.
you. Wait. Was number 1 the Renegade?
Number 1 was the Renegade. He went off on this tangent about the Batman Superman movie and how fucking Bruce Wayne
Drove a
go-
Renegade.
screams through freaking Gotham City on a Renegade, flying through the city
That's
like a
freak-
Renegade could
that's
do more than
I
40
forgot
miles an
that.
hour.
I still laugh when we get.
I said I know the wiping hurts. So
No, it doesn't.
I still get a laugh out of when we get Renegades in. For some reason, the pod reads the engine wrong and it says it has a Hemi.
Yeah. Some of our Y-Tech pods, they read wrong, so when you hook them up, it says a Renegade has a Hemi in it. You're like, what?
5.7 liter Renegade.
That'd be kind of sweet.
It would be kind of sweet. Andrew V says he did a 2-inch lift on a Compass last year.
2-inch Compass, huh? I guess the newer Compasses, they would have a little bit better chance. Now, he had put in pictures of some of the early ones. The Compass and the Patriot were on there. And the Liberty. I've seen some guys lift some Liberties. And you can make them not too bad. That one wouldn't be as bad on there. But I don't know why the Commander was on there. Like, that was a pretty cool car.
Yeah, it was.
I like
Andrew V says, oh, Hellcat Renegade.
Hellcat Renegade.
it. The gas mileage was horrible. I know
Oh,
we had like
gas mileage on
14 to 15
Yeah,
miles.
gas mileage on a Commander is horrendous because they're
Yes.
just a big Hemi or a 4.7 in a flying box.
But other than that, I really loved it.
Warren says, yo, that track hawk you were working on, Kyle, sounded awesome.
It did, and that Trackhawk is pretty badass. As much as I hate to say it, because that one's kind of been ragged out. I didn't go into detail on it, but his rear bumper, his rear fascia, he had backed it into a mailbox, so there's a big gouge in it, so it's popped out of place. A couple of wheels had been curbed, I think. His tires were bald. And he didn't
Them were bald.
all of them were bald, with 9,800 and some. just right at 10,000 miles on it.
Somebody likes to do burnouts.
Yeah. He's like, oh no, we don't ride that hard.
He ran the piss out of that thing.
There's a moldy chicken nugget in the rear door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Those
you
things
have no
mold?
idea
I thought
how
they
many
lasted like
times
10 years without
must have been a Burger King.
Burger King.
How
and
many
the
times
chicken
I
bits.
find food and shit in the back of the Charger?
I found McDonald's French fries yesterday.
I do
that's
too.
like normal.
But right after I get out of the truck and I take them out because there was a child sitting in it.
Andy says he can't wait for the second video on the grumper.
You like that grumper? That was kind of a spur of the moment one. Like one of our salesmen had a guy from West Virginia that just out of the blue said, "Hey, I really want you guys to build this truck." It was a really good deal because this truck had been on our lot for a little while. It was probably on our lot for 6 or 8 months, something like that. It's 3,500 cab chassis. We hadn't put a bed on it just because we left it open for people's options on it, and he really wanted his thing bad within in the next couple of weeks. So one of the options that we had for one of our upfitters was that Hillsboro bed. I'm usually not one for flatbeds, but that one with the toolbox skirts on it, I thought was pretty badass.
It was.
Now, with that, I wish they could have done a powder-coated version to have the black all flow into it. Would have looked cool, and if we could have put some different wheels on it too, that would have been nice. But yeah, we got the grumper on there, and dude, it really wasn't that hard, but it took forever. There was probably 150 bolts that put that thing together. Everything just had little bolts, and then you had to put them all on, but not tighten everything, and then you have to worry about situating and moving the bumper, the wings back and forth to get them to fit right. Hold them up with a freaking jack stand here and there, then tighten the bolt here, tighten the bolt there, loosen this one up. So it's kind of a pain getting it lined up, but it really wasn't that hard, just time consuming.
JRC says they should right on line the bed.
That would be kind of cool if we
Right on line a flatbed like that.
Yeah.
That would
So
be pretty cool.
the owner who bought it actually lives in like West Virginia. He said he works in the oil fields or something along that line, and he's only on the road like 15% of the time, maybe. So he's off road all the time. Wanted a little bit more clearance with that,
Yes.
and the grumper, he wanted to be able to push some stuff over, so he wanted that all big, badass, and protected. So that's pretty cool. And then he wanted, I said I would have rather seen some of the more roadworthy tires, but he says that he's literally not on road that much, so he wanted the Toyo Open Country MTs, so big old mud terrain tires.
JRC said Ron almost gave that grumper some custom scratches.
Yeah, he did. I was so glad that we got that on video. I was pretty glad that we got that on video.
I stopped by the shops for the girls to sell Girl Scout cookies, and they had just finished filming that. And he's like, "Hey, we got something for you to watch."
Yep,
Yeah.
Ron about pooping his pants.
Yeah. Hey, I saved it though.
You did say
I
that,
full on saved it.
and that's why we left it in the video.
Alex said didn't know Captain Ron was that quick when he dropped the grumper.
Dude, he's got some cat-like reflexes. Maybe a retarded cat sometimes, but cat-like.
No. No. Oh, ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet. Okay, I got it.
Lance
That makes
said,
sense.
"Damn, finally found it. The Mustang hood is from the Ultraviolet movie."
That makes sense. I only seen that like once, so it didn't.
I know.
ring a bell.
I'm thinking. Aaron wants to know if you have any new mods coming up for your truck.
I'd like to, but it's kind of been put on hold for some other ventures that will be coming out here shortly. I had a company reach out to me and offer some really good discounted rates on some custom bumpers for it, but it's one of those things where even their highly discounted rates are still kind of out of the price range right now, just for the time being, because like I said, we've got some cool stuff coming up, and priority lists. You got to keep your priorities straight, and some of those big mods on the Duramax just aren't really that high on the priority list, unfortunately. I really still want to do some of those. I've got a couple other options here. I really want to do that truck toolbox build, the custom toolbox, and that one won't be too bad. So when I run out of my current list of things that I need to do for the channel, that will probably come up on the list. This last couple weeks, it's just been one after another after another. I've had this huge list backlogged of videos that I told people that I would make, that I needed to make, that I had products to make them for. So that's kind of where we were at there.
Okay. Catching up on chat real quick, and then I got to show something. Working to Relax says Miss Rustbelt's doing an awesome job.
Always does.
Andrew V wants to know Ron's Toolbox Tour next week, possibly this week.
He's going to do it this week.
Let's see. Ash, no new toolbox for the tattoo equipment yet?
Wish.
No,
Yeah, unfortunately-
I might be traveling here this next weekend, so I might need something to carry all my stuff in.
But as for here at the shop, unfortunately, the
I have an awesome built-in workstation that has everything that I need. So
yeah.
And it matches, even
And
though I'd
then-
love to put a pink toolbox in for you.
Lance wants to see a close-up of the tat, so I'll do that here in just a second. And Jacob wants to know how's that robot dick taste.
That robot dick
I don't
taste.
know about robot dick, but whatever. All right, close-up of the tattoo. Yes, we can do that. Lindsay, will you assist with the placement of said camera?
Okay, a little bit more that way. That way you can see all that's going on. It's getting a lot of the light.
we're getting there.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Want to do this line and watch her step back for a second so you can see. What diesel mix is in that ink?
Just dynamic black.
Dynamic black. Never heard of that diesel additive, but it sounds pretty
Vape.
badass.
All right, so quick look at it.
I think he said in the vape, like in the what's.
That's how far we are so far. Looking pretty freaking sweet. Everyone say hi to Mrs. Captain Ron.
Hello, Mrs. Captain.
Yeah, just rolled right off the tongue.
Mrs. Captain Ron. Whoops, wrong way. We don't want to look at me.
No,
That's who we're here to see.
it's pretty, but you know.
Beard looks fantastic. Which beard?
This beard?
This
no,
beard.
the tattoo.
Oh, the tattoo too. Yes. Tattoo too.
Let's see. Love the updated design.
Is pretty awesome. I was kind of set back by that one. I was not expecting to have a redesign for the new.
I don't
Ink.
want to just do it all. That's
Should
just a
use-
lot of
Oh.
Should use diesel fuel and grease for the ink.
Permanent diesel fuel in you.
Let's just give you a stab.
I get enough of that.
Lance said, Ashley, Jamie says if you read a Winnie the Pooh book, she will tune in for story time.
Winnie the Pooh head.
We can do with the
Cool story.
Toolbox footage says I need to add a My Little Pony on the other arm, or
Oh,
need
yeah.
to add a My Little Pony on the other arm.
I'm down.
What else?
Color's the thing, man. I hate all this.
We'll go with Rainbow Dash.
This stuff is the shit.
Kristen says, "Where are the kids?" Kristen,
We
the
we
kids,
left them at home.
the
They're by
kids are all
They're
just
fending for
hanging
themselves.
out of the house.
It's like Lord of the Flies at home.
Dude, Vance's gonna win.
Sorry.
Don't lie.
He would grab some scissors probably.
Miley would huddle in the corner. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Miley would huddle in the corner. Kinsey would try to take over. Vance would probably stab her.
She'd
And
be the one
then-
with her head on a stake.
Yeah, totally. I mean, just so we're all aware, we all know our children very
And then-
well to be able to just point this out.
Yeah.
And then the only one who could overtake him would be the dog.
If she barked too loud.
Yeah,
But
she
she
barks.
barks too loud.
Because
He
she
has
barks
a
too
chip
loud,
fit.
and Vance doesn't like the dog barking loud.
Mom, hurt my ears. Hurt my ears.
Working to relax says, how's them Duralast Gold rotors and brakes doing on the Duramax?
They're doing very well. I've actually had quite a few people ask me about that one over the last couple weeks on how the update was going. For those, I get very, very little brake dust and all with those. I'm pretty impressed by them.
Kristen says, where are the kids?
Home Alone style.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Your
Sorry.
arm going
Yes.
numb but two?
No, it just flipping hurts.
Mine does too from painting.
Dude, shut up.
I'm just kidding.
Break time. Do, 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 do.
It's like every time I bend my arm right there, it just fucking kills. It doesn't even hurt on my elbow.
You gotta show him your tat.
Yeah,
So
Miss
our son,
Rustbelt.
he's all about
Can you see it okay?
this one. He's all about his dinosaurs, so she got her T-Rex tattoo, the outline done this week.
Everything's fine, and here's not bad. This line right here took my breath away. It was bad. Yeah, right across the elbow, no big deal. Like right there, that line was.
Had that line done before.
That was yeah.
Aiden
Yeah.
Lodo says, what's your opinion on doing a Nissan Skyline R34 build?
If one could afford a Nissan Skyline R34 just to start off with,
My vape and a drink, please.
then yes, I would. That would be way badass. You know, for those who can afford them. I cannot though, but I think it'd be badass.
Audubon Dan says, put a big Chrysler Pentastar on his back.
Yeah, get right on that one. I think the most other Dodge that I would go, like I've got the Mopar symbol on my special Dodge special tool,
We
Number
need to
one.
finish that.
so that one still needs finished.
That was like my 5th or 6th tattoo, I think.
hmm And then I still want to get a Hellcat tattoo.
Are your kids watching the live stream? Probably.
Probably. Yeah. Very likely.
Yeah, because Heather's watching him and
Yeah.
Heather's watching it.
Heather's
so.
watching.
Heather's watching said kids, so.
It's
hmm
a family thing.
It is. That is kind of cool. We do have a very supportive family, and just as much as we have lots of supporters here watching me get a tattoo.
Sorry. I'm on union time.
Union time, union break.
Heather says,
Yes.
yes, they are.
Hi, Children's.
So, anybody get any other cool new tools this week? I know the Snap-on had their kind of tool update conference this year for their reps. I wish I could get some Snap-on tool reps in here
Eat
too.
and beverage. Ooh, great.
That would be kind of cool.
Please.
But some of the new tools that I've heard that are going to be coming out would be seeing some pictures and seeing some people have them in areas. The 1/4-inch electric ratchet with the
Monster.
extended head on it. That would be something cool to see. I know we haven't seen it in our region yet, but that, and I really, really want to see the epic popcorn maker.
So I might have
We do
let
not fucking need another popcorn maker.
Wait.
It wouldn't come home. It'd stay in my fucking toolbox where you
I was
don't
gonna
even see
say,
it.
I might have let the cat out of the bag on that. I said, we might have another popcorn maker come home.
We have one at home that we don't use. We have,
But the
bags,
thing
we
is-
have
I
like
believe
400 bags of popcorn.
I believe I used the crap out of that thing.
No, you use your walk. And you
I
do it on the
did
skillet.
before.
You zid,
Use it.
Use
not use.
You
Currently.
use. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he used and then didn't clean it.
It's
For like-
nasty.
I finally cleaned
A
it.
year. We moved it and then we cleaned it. We
Well,
moved
whatever.
houses and then we cleaned it.
Whatever. Let's see. Catching up on chat. Snap-on popcorn maker. Planning on buying the EECS 550A battery starting and charging testing tool.
That's kind of cool.
Not a tool, but I picked up a Benchmade knife.
Hey, custom knives are pretty cool too. I've seen quite a few of those made.
My wife wants the hair dryer.
Got that.
We have 2 of those.
We have 2 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have the boxes for them anymore, but whatever.
My daughter likes it quite a bit.
Popcorn
Yours
makers.
is still in the
JRC
box.
says
Yeah.
popcorn makers are too messy
The
Dude,
girls
here's the
opened
thing.
ours
Why
up.
am I going to get rid of the one I have? Because it works just fine. Like,
because
Because
it's Snap-on. If you ever want to have a Snap-on rep do a safety class, call Snap-on Industrial Rep.
Safety class. No.
Uh,
Safety.
we have a Snap-on guy come to the school where I'm learning machines. He sells a lot. So yeah, we have a Snap-on rep that comes down to the school that I go to try to sell to the students and whatnot that are there. And
Right. They
I'm sure
definitely
he
sell
sells.
shit.
I'm sure he sells quite a bit as well. So
Gotta hook 'em early.
Snap-on Tools. Snap-on Tools is a joke nowadays. Says independent auto technician.
I don't think so on that one. I like my Snap-on tools.
Everybody
They work.
has their own flavor.
I'm not going to hate on every other tool brand either.
Audubon Dan says, I could imagine a mess for the dealer to clean in his truck from all the techs throwing popcorn at each other.
We would just sit there every night. Somebody left their toolbox undone.
And
We would
popcorn.
just fill all the drawers with popcorn.
Oh my god, could you imagine having to wait down every single fucking tool?
They'd be
from
well oiled.
popcorn grease.
They'd be well oiled. They wouldn't rust.
Good point. JRC says Snap-on tools are quality.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's one of the things where I hope that they make that one available, but it sounds like it's going to just be a regional or statewide kind of thing where you have to win, where you have to get tickets to be able to have a drawing to win it and whatnot. But I wish they made it more available.
Apprentice prank.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow we need to figure out how to open Brandon's toolbox so when he comes back, he can have all kinds of popcorn.
There we go.
He's not in here right now, so we can say that. Warren says you got to pay for quality these days. Jacob says Nipix tools are the best pliers.
I have Nipix pliers. So that's another thing that'll be in the update because I bought me a set of the Nipix, the 3-piece set that they had available on promo on our Matco truck. I got those. They're pretty badass.
Working to Relax says, gotta ask, does that hurt at all?
No. No, this section of the arm is very, very easy tattooing.
Warren says, although I really love the Milwaukee Power Tools.
The Milwaukee's. I love mine. I really want to start getting some more to do some reviews on. One of the ones that I think that I want to go for next is going to be their soldering iron. Seen some really good things on that one. I'd like to see that one. And I'd like for them to come out with a smaller M12 line of like a grinder cutoff wheel. You know how Snap-on has their grinding wheel disc for the 14.4 line? I'd like to see Milwaukee come out with something along those lines for their M12 stuff.
Toolbox Force says, I know the tickets for the fridge, popcorn machine, and the $30,000 dream car are coming soon.
That's what it is. It's like I said, it's going to be a regional drawing, so you'll have to get tickets, but so you will be able to get, and then your rep will also be able to get a $30,000 voucher for, I think it's Mecum. It's one of the auto auction places to go to one of their auto auctions and be able to buy what you want.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Aiden says, our Snap-on ratchets worth it because in Australia, the average price over here is $250 to $400.
Now, I don't know what the rate is between Australian currency and the U.S. dollar.
Well, I can tell you.
But around here, some like a 3/8 flex head ratchet, I think that the $100 to $120 range-ish is a pretty decent deal for them. Sometimes they're a little bit more, like if you want a big half-inch flex head breaker bar style, then yeah, you're going to be paying more for that one. But just a regular 3/8 flex head, that's pretty decent range on those. Plus the 80 tooth, I really have never had the mechanism and the teeth on any of my Snap-on ratchets break yet. I broke one anvil off, and that was about it.
So 250 Australian dollars is about the equivalent of $180.37 here.
So 250, that'd be a little bit overpriced, but not that far off.
Big T says, I just picked up the soldering tool from Milwaukee, and it's awesome.
You like it? That's good. Because I know I have the Snap-on, not the latest version, but I got to try that one out, and I really wasn't that impressed with it, so I didn't purchase it. Didn't feel like I wanted to make a whole video on it either. So
Brian Boris says, have you ever had an issue doing 2 angles with the new digital torque wrench?
2 angles. I don't know what you mean by 2 angles. Like trying to do 2 different angles, or one angle and have to ratchet it back a couple of times. So this last week, I had to purchase the 1/2-inch tech angle wrench. I got it in the blackout version of it. It's one of those purchases where I'd been putting it off for a while, just because the $600 and some price tag was just a little bit more than what I wanted to pay, and most of the time I could get away without doing it. A lot of the angles that we have to do for the head bolts, they tell you to go to a certain foot-pound, and then they tell you to go like 40 degrees, 45 degrees, at most 90 degrees, something along those lines. So you can about figure out what's 45 and 90 degrees. So be honest on that one. At least I hope so. But then this Hellcat, this one was like 40, 44 foot-pounds, and then it wanted you to crank it over 160 degrees. So trying to get 160 degrees on a cylinder head, you don't have that much space, so you have to ratchet it back a couple times.
Ryan says 75 degrees and then an additional 75 degrees.
Oh, I just do the 75 degrees, pull it off, wait, and then do an additional 75 degrees. I guess you could do the 150 degrees. Just put in 150 degrees on it.
410 Autotech says Snap-on torque wrenches are awesome, especially for angle measurements.
They are.
I would agree.
I can't say how badass it is enough, but boy, that price tag though, it was up there, but it's worth the money in it. It does a whole lot.
It's worth having that confidence and security that you're actually doing things at the right angle and right torque specs.
Exactly.
You know, not trying to do it with a regular torque wrench where
it
you're just guessing
verifies
what
it verifies it to you also, because even after you put the angle on, so you kind of want to verify that all of your bolts are torqued to an equal torque amount also. So once you put that 160 degrees, that 160 degrees worth of angle on it, it also tells you at what torque that you stopped at the same time. So as long as all of your bolts are within, 5 or so foot-pounds, then you know that, you didn't get any slippage, you didn't get any bolt stretch. If all of a sudden, you put 160 degrees across all 10 bolts, but the last one you get to, you put it to that 60 degrees, and that one's 40 foot-pounds less torque than all the rest of them were, then you know that you had an issue on that bolt, and either the bolt stretched or you had a thread issue, so it'd be able to point it out to you there too.
Aiden says, have you ever tried any Harbor Freight ratchets, and if so, what do you think about them?
The
yeah. Pittsburghs.
We've tried, I forget what the other one was that I had. It was some no-name brand that they had, and then we also had a Pittsburgh one. And they were actually decent, but the lever on it is backwards from what every other ratchet in the world is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that just drove me nuts. So I couldn't get past that one. Therefore, I just didn't like it.
And for me, in all honesty, I mean, a Pittsburgh ratchet is what I started with doing oil changes. And then when I got my Snap-on set of tools, I had to like retrain myself on which way was which, because the Pittsburgh had me so backwards because of the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're nice, but if you can get away from that mental block of keeping, going one way or the other, then, they're not bad, but yeah, it's just the switch is backwards, and that's what's crazy about them. Warren says Ryan just tried doing the 150 degree pass. Let's see what else we got. Harbor Freight ratchets are good for warriors, weekend warriors.
Yep. Not for everyday use.
Best ratchets I've ever bought were my Snap-on set. Love them.
Yep.
I agree.
Just can't pass that one up. I think one of the other things that's on my would like to buy list here soon are going to be some of the Snap-on ratchet wrenches. I've got a Blue Point flex head ratchet set or the ratchet wrench set, but I got to try out some of the Snap-on ones, and the mechanisms on the Snap-on ratchet wrenches are so much nicer. They're just nicer feeling. They got a whole lot less teeth. There are more teeth to them. Grip in a better way. Their head's not nearly as loose. So I really want to try to get a set of those. I like those a lot.
Robert said, had a customer reuse head bolts.
Well, see, not every single head bolt has to be reused. I like to replace them on everything that I do just because I don't like having that questionable bit to them. There's some of them where you can physically look at them and see, oh yeah, that head bolt is obviously stretched and it needs replaced. But I would rather just see, nice new bolts so they haven't been used before. But some manufacturers specifically say, do not reuse head bolts. They have to be put back on. Or other bolts in the vehicle, kind of like BMW. So Brandon did a BMW, I think it was a 3 Series. It was like a 325i. It's like 07, 08. He did an oil pan on that one. And some of those aluminum freaking bolts that go into that. That's the first time I had seen a whole set of full aluminum bolts. And they pretty much felt like kids' toys. We held a whole packet of like 20 of these aluminum bolts, and they didn't weigh, a fourth of a pound.
Jacob says, have you ever used open-end ratchet wrench?
I have seen them, and I've used one before, but I don't know, just the way it felt to me, like it was just asking to bust your knuckles open. Plus, you've only got, 6 points of, I guess, ratcheting there to it. So it's not like you got a whole lot of movement. You've got to be able to turn the wrench a long way to be for it to grab.
JC Smith Productions says, is this the blue oval tattoo?
No, JC, it is not. You guys and your blue oval love, whatever. Hey, JC, also, I've been meaning to email you for a couple of days now. The guys over at Top Don that I have been working with for the scan tools and videos, they've got a line of things coming into the U.S. here that are specifically for heavy-duty trucks and trucking. And I don't see those things very often, so they're kind of wanting me to do a review on some of these heavy-duty scan tools for them. And it's not something where I'm going to be able to easily do a review because I just don't see those things. So I might be putting you in touch with one of their reps to be able to possibly get a hold of one of those. They look really high quality, really nice units. But yeah, it's one of those things where I don't see a whole lot of use for it for myself. I would physically have to get a hold of a heavy-duty trucking company to get something to test on. So I know you see that a whole lot more in your line.
Catching up on chat. Toolbox Footage says, I've been thinking about getting the new design SK ratchets, mainly wanting it for that flex ratchets.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kevin McClurg says, hey, what's up? How you doing?
I might have an in for some of those SK tools too, so I might be looking at doing a couple of reviews on some SK tools here soon too.
Let's see. Toolbox Footage says, no JC, he's getting an old school Yogo tattoo.
What is?
Let's see. Warren says Ash looks so serious and concentrated right now.
Oh my god, it's my resting bitch face when I tattoo. Like, here's the thing.
Serious.
Would you rather me, like, joke and have fun and, like,
Yes.
cut up
No
and then,
focus.
like, your lines all fucking crazy? Or do
No.
you want this shit to look good? Like,
better
I've
be
only
a-
been doing this 15 months, so
On
it's not. Yeah. Did you just say
On fleek.
Could you not do that?
right.
On fleek. Let's see. JC Smith says, can't be any worse than the Snap-on Pro link. He said, email me at, this is the email address.
Hey, put that in notes to send to me, please.
I'll just text it to you right now.
So I don't remember.
So you don't remember?
Yep.
Zach Smith says, sup, fellas.
What's up, Zach? Zach, that other guy that we did a lift kit on his 19 Ram,
Ed?
he's been asking me
Sure.
like twice a week on different questions of, so that other guy that you guys did the lift kit for, does he still like this? Does he have any issues with fuel mileage? I'm like, dude, if you're seriously worried about fuel mileage and wear and everything on a lifted truck on 35s, I think you picked the wrong vehicle. Not something you should be worried about.
Let's see. Jacob says, what do you think about Teng tools? Any experience?
About what?
Teng, T-E-N-G.
Don't know them.
Independent Auto Tech says, Tat Snap-on Zeus a joke.
That Snap-on Zeus?
I don't know. I don't know. They updated the Zeus, and I actually like it a lot more now.
I do. I like the new update that they came out with. I want to say it's like the 19.3 or 4. I forget which software they're on, but I enjoy it. I like it. I still don't like their scoping function on it. It's still kind of a pain to set up the scope on it, but then again, it does a lot more when it comes to scoping than a whole lot of other tools, so setting it up is kind of a pain, but other than that, I like them. I really like to use our Zeus.
Kevin McClurg says, you should get the new Tecton 90-tooth ratchet and do a review. I was thinking about getting one, but I haven't found a review video.
I've heard some good things from some of those Tecton tools, especially their new 92 ratchet. So I might look into that one. Yeah.
Zach said, right, I'm loving it and still getting 22-ish on the highway.
See, that's not bad. When you're talking about a new truck, it's got the Hemi and lifted 2 inches on 35s. That's not bad.
Anyone ever tried mountain wrenches?
Nope, not here.
TJ Hunt got sponsored by Tang. They seem like decent tools. Pico scope all day, baby.
Yeah, the Picos. You can't beat them. That's another one of those things, kind of like the multimeters, where they're kind of the industry standard in the flukes and the meters, but some other ones are really good, but they just are just that industry standard. It's hard to beat them.
Is the Zeus that much better than the Virus D10? My manager's on the fence of upgrading.
Yeah, I got to mess around a little bit with the Verus. I personally like the Zeus platform a little bit more. It's able to have a little bit more special functions to it. The connection with, because we also have Shotkey Pro, so the connection into that for the guided diagnostics is easier. It points you in the right direction faster. So I like that. And then the scoping function, it's able to do more channels, I believe. At least I think. I'm not sure on the Verus because I didn't get a mess around with the scope on that.
Okay, catching up on chat again. Kevin McClurg just donated $4.99 to the
Thanks,
chat.
Kevin.
Says for the ratchet.
Ooh, okay. It's in my it's on my list now.
Let's see. Zach says I'm late to the party. What's the tat design?
Also, Kevin, if you have Instagram, send me a link on Instagram on that one, and I'll look into it and see if I can get it there, whatever link you have, or someplace else. But just so I have it digitally to remind me also. Sorry, I got to readjust here.
Yep, that works. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, catching up on chat. Zach says, "What's the patent design?" It's the Rustbelt mechanic logo.
The Rustbelt special.
Let's see. Just did a run to South Bend in our 3500 Duramax at 75 mile an hour. Got 24.4 economy.
South Bend, Indy.
Gregory Carter says, "Night guys, hope the tattoo comes out looking good. I'll look for seeing it tomorrow on Instagram."
Thanks, Ray.
JC says, "The only way I get 22 miles a gallon is if I have a Dodge Cummins truck pushing my Ford from behind."
That's about right. You ain't gonna get fuel mileage in them blue ovals.
What's your Instagram so I can send that?
It's Rustbelt Mechanic.
Do you ever think about lowering a truck?
Yes. I was asked these guys, I was on the fence with my truck, whether I wanted to lower it or lift it. So I really, really want to lower a truck also. And I was looking into the one because I'm going to be getting that 99 3500 from JRC. And it's going to be hard because they don't have any lowering kits for that one because it's a 4-wheel drive truck. If it was a 2-wheel drive truck, that would be the very first thing that I would be doing. Cool. I just got your message on Instagram, man. Thank you. So I really want to lower one.
Stand up.
That would be pretty badass.
Oh.
Time for a break.
All right, break time.
Yeah,
You want
stand up.
to show off what you got going on so far?
This is the so far.
Let's say what, halfway point?
Over, I gotta do the hair. I'm gonna start shading since we're.
Yeah, we're rocking it on.
Yeah,
Just killing it.
yeah, she is.
There's a lot of black to go in there.
Let's see. So projects this week, Kyle. What we got going on?
Projects this week. Hopefully finishing up that grumper. We're gonna be we're waiting to hear back from the customer on the lights that he wants to use for it. So we'll be adding lights to the grumper, doing some fender trimming for it if he okays me to do that, which I think it needs to. Now whether he wants me to do it or he wants to do it, we'll see what he says about that one. Adding the tires to it, so the other truck video is going to be happening. The tool haul from the Home Depot with some Milwaukee tools and some other tools that I picked up on the Snap-on and Matco trucks. This last 2 weeks, I need to do an update on all the tools that I've gotten. Other vehicle-wise, I could be doing, we've got another one coming into the shop. One of them is a transmission on a ProMaster. It's a 6-speed front-wheel drive trans. We might be able to do a video on that one.
God, that's gonna be fun to get in the shop.
Yeah, that's going to suck to do because it's on a big old box truck, so we have to do it on a drive-on rack. Or there's a Ram 5500 that we've got as a lot truck that got traded in. It needs a turbo, it needs a radiator, it needs a...
The 20-hour job.
Yeah, it needs 20 hours worth of work done to it. But I think the turbo replacement on it would be something cool to see on video.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys would kind of like that one. I don't want to be jittery.
Catching up on chat again. I daily drive a lowered truck, makes drifting fun as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Independent auto technician says you work at a union dealership.
No.
No,
No.
we don't.
We don't need no union. It's one of those things where we're at a small enough dealership and they take care of us. So I would hate to work at a union dealer.
Yeah, I agree. JC says, did somebody say truck video coming?
Yep.
Aiden says, what automotive test tools do you use the most?
Test light. By far, that's the most often I use a test light. And then, that's another video that's coming up. I'm going to be doing a review video on, I can't remember the model number, but the Snap-on low amp clamp meter. I just got that one from TPI. They sent to me to do a little test review on. So I'm going to be doing a review on that one. I've already actually started kind of
I'm also
doing.
going to be at this angle for.
You're fine. I'm just moving a little bit.
I got that one to be able to do a review on. So that's going to be a cool video on doing some draws and everything with that.
Let's see. My 14 Ram 1500 is getting 21-ish, all factory at 68,000 miles. Still going to be my last Chrysler product.
Whatever. It's awesome.
Independent auto technician says Chrysler garbage.
You can hate all you want.
Yep, hate by all means. Turbo job may not be too nice to the tattoo.
Cummins turbos aren't that bad, man.
Let's see. JC says, love a Cummins. It's a shame it comes in such a horrible shipping container.
Try not to laugh too hard.
So that's catching up. So
I like the Cummins trucks. They are. I like the package they come in. They're nice. What do you think about their transmissions? Have you had a whole lot of issues? Have you had, first off, have you had an Ison? I know you've had the 68 RFE trucks, but have you had one of the Cummins with the Ison transmissions yet?
Say chat's kind of quiet at the moment, so
You guys all quiet and shit. How many's in there?
right now we are running with 39 viewers.
40 viewers.
Working Relax says, hey man, it's the first half ton that does what I want and need. Hate the dealers in my area.
It happens. Not everybody can have an awesome dealership with awesome techs like me and Captain Ron.
Why do I not have any power? There we go. For some reason when that plug-in
Wasn't
doesn't
plugged
work.
in.
I guess when it's plugged in, it just this part doesn't work apparently. Or it's not plugged in. That too. Never mind. How long till you get to Australia for a holiday?
Dude, I wish. If I had the funds to go traveling to like Australia, I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd love to see that.
One day.
Robert says, boop.
I get some more of those YouTube monies. I need about 60,000 more subscribers to be able to get that kind of YouTube monies to think about Australia trips.
Warren says, Hawaii and Australia in one trip.
Ooh,
Dude, I would so do Hawaii.
that would be pretty badass.
Is that technically considered island hopping?
Yep, that would be.
Christian says, road trip. I don't know how we're gonna.
I don't
I don't know
think
how
you
we're
can
gonna
add-
drive
you
to
can
Hawaii
road
and
trip.
Australia, but
Hey, I like her enthusiasm though.
We do have to get on planning our Outer Banks vacation though.
If we don't plan it, I'm just driving. I will sleep on the beach. Like I have to have the beach vacation.
We usually do an Outer Banks vacation once a year. So we need to get on to planning this year, but I think it's gonna be pretty badass with lifted Duramax. We're gonna be taking more trips to the sand dunes.
Oh yeah.
I think we do need to do some
Nope,
of that.
count me out.
Whatevs.
Almost vomited last time.
JC
Oh,
says,
God, that was horrible.
JC says, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I have a Ford, Dodge, and GM diesels. They all have their own weak points. Have not had an Asian trans. Prefer
Ison.
Ison trans. Prefer a manual. Dodge is the only one left that offers a manual.
That's true. Most guys who really do a big amount of towing, they like the manual trans anyways. They're the only things that really hold up for what you guys need.
Scott Ward says, had many 5.7s with lifter problems. Got a 17 with 14,000. Sounds like lifter's taking a shit. Diesel mechanic by trade.
We don't see very many lifters anymore. Not that many. Now, unless you've got a camshaft issue, we've seen a couple of issues on those. But normally we don't see lifter issues very often much longer. We see more exhaust manifold issues than we do lifters. Other than Zach's truck, Zach had a 2500 with a Hemi, and that one actually broke the lifter or the rocker pedestal off of the head, so it had to have a whole cylinder head for that one.
Independent Auto says, scares me today that a lot of dealer techs can't diagnose drivability problems and they have the OEM software. What do you guys think? True or false?
It's not just a Chrysler thing. That's a flat rate thing. Flat rate techs these days, they get lazy. And a lot of dealerships cut back their time, so they're trying to make up time in other areas. which is kind of messed up in the first place. That they don't understand that in flat rate work, if you get comebacks, that it's going to take twice as much time to do and to diagnose, but they don't get that one. But they're just trying to shave time, and it sucks seeing a lot of the dealers do that. I've seen it happen in a lot of places. It really does suck for the customers because you're going to have more trips back to the dealership, and your whatever fixed first visit score is what Chrysler calls it, at least, is just going to go in the shitter, and you guys are going to get less reviews, less ratings, and everything for your dealership. So I don't see what the point is on cutting corners on doing your diagnostics right in the first place. A lot of dealers on customer pay things and even warranty, once you do your clock in time, most dealerships, if you have a good enough warranty clerk, they're able to get you guys at least 9/10 of diagnostic time without Chrysler batting an eye or throwing a shit fit about what you do. You just have to document very well exactly what you do for your diagnostic time. I don't know. It's one of those lazy tech kind of things. It's sad to see, but there are lazy ones out there.
Jacob says, do you ever get to work on any classic cars?
Very few and far between. The last one I did was that 48 Dodge. I promoted it in one of the videos. I forget which video it was, but I got to put fuel lines and an oil line to the oil gauge on a 48 Dodge.
JRC says Diag should pay at least 1 to 2 for drivability or electrical.
Should. Yeah, it should. And on our customer pay stuff, it automatically pays an hour. So we just have a flat rate diagnostic time of an hour. Now, if any more time goes over that, we let the customer know, obviously, like, hey, we need some more time in diagnosing it, especially if you got a bus issue where you're searching down a shorted bus somewhere in like the interior high-speed bus. Those kind of suck to find, but it should. And if you're getting paid that hour, why not take that full hour for diag time? Even if I were to have a customer vehicle come in and they've got, I don't know, what we see most of the time is a freaking EVAP issue, an eSIM switch isn't closing right or something along those lines, then I find that issue in like 10, 15 minutes worth of my diag time. That customer is paying for the hour on it, so I'm going to take the rest of that time to look their vehicle over thoroughly because, they want to find out what's wrong with their vehicle. They want to pay for the time that they're paying for and feel like they're getting money's worth. Plus, I'm able to possibly upsell some of the things on, some vehicles. I had one this week on a Compass, I believe. They had a drivability issue on it. I found the issue with the purge system in like 15, 20 minutes. Went through their vehicle, found out their lower control arms had ball joints about ready to fall out of that one. So got that one quoted, and their front brakes were down to like 5-10%. So we did some brakes and some ball joints on it. So easy upsell, and the customer was super happy that we found something else, especially since she had tires put on 2 days prior at freaking Walmart. They overlooked bad ball joints. Sad, but it happens.
Catching up on chat. My 14 ticks a little bit. Dealer says it's normal. Done that since new.
A lot of the newer Hemis, they sound like sewing machines. It's one of those things where they all kind of do it a little bit.
And Independent Auto says Diag should pay what it takes you to actually Diag. JRC says if you can't figure out a problem with a vehicle in an hour or two, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
Working to Relax says hate rework. I've been doing rework from the dumbasses that worked in my shop before I got there. It's a real pain reworking RV crap. It's all lost money for the shop.
Yep.
Independent Auto says you're speaking from a dealer tech view. JRC, you work on those vehicles every day. I work on everything. Scott says
JRC works on everything. He's not a dealer. He's an indie. He owns his own shop.
Yep. Scott Ward says working to Relax. These things are stupid loud, almost like they're not priming up. Even worse when it goes into 4-cylinder mode.
The MDS mode, everybody hates that, especially if you have aftermarket exhaust on your truck. That truck sounds like crap when it goes to MDS mode. That's why most people do tuners to make that stuff shut off.
Let's see. Jacob says my neighbor has a 65 Dodge Coronet. Sorry. with a 426 max wedge. It's one of two in the whole Eastern USA.
Funny enough, I think I know who has the other one. We talked to him at Tip City Car Show.
Yeah, when we told them about them.
Toolbox Footage says, guys and gals, have fun. Have a safe one. Catch y'all on the flip side.
Thanks for tuning in, bud. Appreciate it.
JC says, I work on my own junk. Can't afford to misdiagnose.
Yeah, I hear you there, especially when some of the dealers want, 130, 150, 160 bucks an hour for looking at things. That's kind of getting crazy. Our dealership actually is one of the cheaper dealerships that I've heard of or around. We're at I want to say we're at 94 something an hour is what our flat rate. That's customer pay, so that's our max rate. Unless it's conversion vans, we charge more for an hour on conversion van work because obviously conversion vans, they take a whole lot more effort and calling everybody in the freaking world to look anything up on.
But G85 says, heading to bed, y'all. When will you be shipping out the rolling pole stickers from last Sunday?
Hopefully in the next 2 days, you'll be able to see those coming out. I was just waiting on my printer to print a couple of those, and they're going to be coming out, man. You good?
Is that all right?
That's good.
Skiro says, do you work for a dealer?
Yes.
We do.
Work for a mobile dealer.
Dale N says, Rustbelt Sunday, what's up, bitches?
What's up, man? Tuning in a little late, but it's good to see you come to the party.
Hey, we see hey.
Working to Relax says, conversion vans are nice, but built like an RV inside.
Yep, they sure are. We see the nasty side of the custom builds on those quite often.
JC says, conversion vans, every wire is white with no tracer. Heinz 57 or leftover parts.
Mostly leftover screws. You see leftover screws and panels. It's bad. You take these new vans out for a test drive on their first time coming in, and you take a corner, and all of a sudden you hear a whole bunch of jingling in the back, and you got to take two panels apart and find a whole bunch of extra screws just rolling around where some guy left them in the wall, or screws put in through wiring harnesses. We always, probably 90% of the time on our initial check-in and test drives on these conversion vans, we'll find something wrong just getting them right off the truck. So we've got to put probably an hour or two at least in every single conversion van coming in brand new.
Skiro says, why is your shop empty? Because the shop isn't typically open on Sundays.
It's actually closed.
It's actually closed on Sundays.
Yeah, this shop's closed on Sundays. Plus, it's 9:20 at night. Well, I guess
that would typically be a hopping time.
It would be a hopping time here, but this shop's not open on Sundays.
Sunday's family day.
Brad's Workbench says, hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Brad? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. You've been rolling out the videos lately. That's been cool to see.
Seems like the chat's kind of went quiet for a minute, so. Hayden says it's only 120 over here.
Only 120. Yep, it's definitely 920 here.
Australia's in the past.
So in your area, Aiden, what kind of weather do you see there? Do you see snow and such? Do you get the seasons like we get here in Midland, Ohio, in the U.S.? I know a lot of the people say, I love living in areas that have seasons. I like seeing it. I'd rather live someplace that didn't see snow. It sucks working on cars in snow with salt, the Rust Belt. But then again, I wouldn't have my signature Rust Belt.
Jared Gordon says, we charge $115 an hour as an air compressor tech.
Mm-hmm. A lot of other places, but we live in the BFE of the U.S. So that's just what the going rate is around here. I know that you go towards the bigger cities, even around here, Chicago, Columbus, Indianapolis, and a lot of those dealers are at $160, $170 an hour, which is crazy shit. But that's what they're able to get. That's what they're going to charge. They're also the ones that have a lot more overhead. They have coffee bars and whatever baristas working in their dealership.
You could use a barista.
Barista.
Jacob says, either of you watch AVE Uncle Bumblefuck on YouTube? If not, I highly recommend you do so.
I watched some AVE earlier on. I haven't watched it in a while, but I used to. It was some pretty funny stuff.
Independent Auto says, what city are you based from?
We are about 20 minutes, 30 minutes north of Dayton, Ohio.
Brad's Workbench says, I love Texas because I hate snow. I've worked all over the U.S. and I'll gladly suffer through 110-degree summers to stay away from the snow.
Dude, I would love to live in Texas. I've got a great aunt who lives down in San Antonio, and I would much rather deal with the heat. I'm not a big sweater, I guess, so the heat really doesn't bother me very much.
Yeah, suck it.
Brad's Workbench says, Dale N says, was hanging with the family, watched the video Scanner Danner did with his new scan tool. Chinese knockoff. Felt the same way a month ago when I opened my TS608 from Altel. Though it did have some things the Zeus didn't, but the Zeus had other stuff that no one else has. If I wasn't mainly hobby, I'd get the ShopKey Pro, but $165, $170 a month is ridiculous.
Yeah, for a private somebody, who isn't using those every day, the ShopKey Pro for us is almost a necessity. We have to have it between that or Mitchell or whatever other diagnostic online thing that you have. We work on all makes and models at our dealership, so it's not just Chrysler. So we have to have that online diagnostic-based software to be able to look to. Not only that, but also the specs and capacities that we need for our everyday things too.
Alex Morris says, night guys, take it easy. Got to get stuff ready for work tomorrow.
See you, Alex. Thanks for tuning in.
Heather says, our aunt moved to Texas because of the snow.
Yeah, legit. She didn't like the snow, so she says, screw that.
Aiden says, we got 4 seasons. Hot spring, deadly hot summer, hot autumn, fucking cold winter. We've got snow in Australia, but only in a couple of small areas.
I can handle that.
So it's hot, super fucking cold. Jacob says, have you ever seen a backyard buddy car lift? They are a
You roll them under.
rollable 4-post lift. They are nice.
Yeah, I've seen some demos for the rollable 4-post ones. If you got the nice big flat area to be able to do it, that'd be kind of something neat. But you also have to live in an area that has decent enough weather to be working on cars over a couple of days outside, which here in Ohio, no, that shit would rust in like a week flat. That wouldn't be very good around here.
Warren says, Kyle, how many appointments does your shop do per day? How many techs?
So we have 3 flat rate certified Chrysler techs, at least certified to some extent. And then we have Brandon and Ron are our hourlies/cap students. On a normal day, we'll see anywhere from, I don't know, probably 4 to 8 oil changes. Those style just quick appointments, tire rotations, and then we'll probably have 5 or so other appointments during the day. That'll be our diagnostics, more along the lines of maintenance, some of the bigger things. But the other things that fill our time is our conversion vans. We do a lot of time with those. We have a car and credit lot that our dealership also runs, so we do the maintenance and fixes for a lot of those vehicles. And then on top of that, our dealership also is has a used car lot, so we've got to do used car inspections, and that fills up a bunch of our extra time. So even in like the dead winter months when we see a whole lot of other dealerships with guys sitting on their toolboxes fiddle fucking around, we are not that way.
Did you just say fiddle fucking?
Yep,
Fiddle
like
fucking
right
around.
now, even in the dead of January, last week I did 58.5 or 59 flat rate hours this last week, and that's generally my average, even in a slow season.
I did like 44.
Yeah, Captain Ron did 44 hours. I know he only gets paid hourly, but he's starting to keep track of all of his flat rate time also. So he's doing like 44 hours just as an hourly guy. We're pretty freaking busy, and we've got 12 bays in our shop. So 12 bays, 5 techs. 2 of the bays, one's an alignment rack drive on, and then one's a drive on 30,000 pound rack for doing big heavy duty stuff.
Catching up on chat, John Hansen says first real snow yesterday in Indianapolis. Same here.
It's snow.
JC says if you don't like the weather in Ohio, wait 5 minutes. A different season's coming.
That is
Yep,
true. I have a
Same in
feeling
Indiana.
Yep,
all of
same
this
in
snow is going to be gone by Wednesday or Thursday.
Just in time for the next one.
Yeah, just in time for more.
Yep.
Let's see. Dale N says, I do love the Zeus with the cart. Makes it a learning curve of today's modern vehicles a little more easy, though it comes at an expense. Short night tonight, so behave as Fam Bam wants to watch the TV.
All right, man. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, I do love our Zeus. We did not get the diagnostic cart with it. We just got the tool only. So not one of those extra things that we were able to go for in the shop, but it's not one of those things where it would be heavily used also. The other 2 techs in the shop, they are, we'll put it this way, of the older generation. So teaching them and having them use some of the newer scanners and diagnostic equipment, there's a little bit of a learning curve to it. So I don't see them using those scan tools to their fullest potential. Kind of frustrating, but it is what it is.
JC says, my boss is a jerk. He never pays me for all my hours. Cheapskate.
I mean, even if you do have a good boss, people are, people. Human error. No.
I was like,
Human error does happen, and, especially when all of your flat rate tickets are done by hand still, things get missed, you're ordering parts, so tickets are on hold for that, they don't pay you yet. Kind of a pain. I know I've had a couple of weeks here over the last couple of weeks where I've had something apart, waiting on parts forever, and then get back to it, plus I have my diag time in it. So when we finally did get that diesel ProMaster engine back in and all together, that one was like 22 or 23 hours that I had been sitting there on for like a month and a half.
Working Relax says, no, Kyle. People are assholes and cheap.
People in general are assholes in one form or another. It's the truth.
including you.
Including myself. In some ways, I am an asshole. I won't deny.
But such a lovable asshole.
It is.
Yeah, you gotta give him that.
It's the beard. It makes the lovable nature come out.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Justin ATV says, just able to stop by and say Merry Christmas, y'all. I'll get you a Justin ATV tat next, bro. I hear he's awesome.
Justin, you're a pretty badass kind of guy. Now, Justin, I was talking to a couple other guys this week, and we need to start seeing something from you, buddy. Like, I know you're busy, and I know the Snap-on is kind of taking over your life. It's kind of like this, this guy has found the cool guys table and has moved to the cool guys table, so it's kind of hard to hear from him anymore. So, Justin, I think we need to see your lovely bearded face on camera again. Come on, man. No, that's Hard Knocks. I know the Snap-on truck is like taking all of life right now, which I don't blame you. It's a pretty badass gig you got going on. But us not quite so cool guys are still here. We love to see you, man.
JRC says, yeah, we're going to protest if you don't upload a video soon at Justin ATV.
We at least need like a truck tour or something. You gotta go for that one.
Russell Finch says, next 5 days here in Mildura, Australia. 109, 114, 114, 112, and 100.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds like an awesome week.
I think I just got tan.
And Justin says, I'm still sitting in the corner.
Sitting in the corner. Who's got you in the corner? Who do we need to protest to? There's no corner action for you.
Working to Relax says, my new boss screwed me over $3 an hour, man. Crummy insurance, no parts, can't get parts even from Lowe's.
Yeah, the problem that we have with our parts department, now generally we kind of have, some issue with the help here and there, but the issue that we have is they want to use Mopar parts for everything that they can. And I don't blame them for that because they get discounts more and more. The more Mopar parts they use, the bigger the discount they get, the more money they make. But Mopar parts aren't always available, if you know what I'm getting at. They're always on back order. They take 1 or 2 or 3 days to get. Kind of sucks. So you're like, yeah, I want to quote this guy a serpentine belt. Oh, it'd be 2 to 3 days to get that. Well, why can't we just get it from like AutoZone uptown or something like that? No, that takes our loyalty down. So it's just frustrating.
Like, oh, I guess we can check there.
Yeah, they throw a fit about that one, but I hate the fact that they have to use Mopar parts all of the time to be able to get their loyalty, and it takes down the productivity of the shop.
Yeah, I mean, what irritates me the most about that is the fact that like they don't even bother looking to see if they can get them there. Sometimes,
very often,
it's like you say, "Oh, can I get this part?" Yeah, it's going to be 3 or 4 days. We can't get it any sooner.
Yep.
I mean, this
they don't
person's a waiter. I mean,
they don't see the productivity of the whole shop. The parts guys are usually focused, like laser focused on their productivity, their bottom line at the end of the month. They don't see the shop as a whole, and that's the part that kind of sucks the most.
How's it going there, Ash?
It's gone. I think I'm just going to fill in the lettering and
Oh, yeah? No more trading than that?
JC says even Napa, which stands for never any parts available, can get parts faster than 3 to 4 days.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Working to Relax says, remember, I work on RVs for a living. All the manufacturers are no more than an hour away from me. Mass production and still can't get simple parts like a marker light lens.
Plus, they change their parts like what seems monthly half the time for a lot of the RVs and conversion van things. They're always doing updates, or pretty much in their terms, they found a cheaper distributor through some third world country to get even cheaper lenses for.
Big T says, I watched a pretty good video on how to make a Mini Cooper with 2 engines in them. It's pretty cool.
Mini Cooper with 2 engines. I'd be down. That'd be kind of sweet. Especially since Mini Coopers, I looked up some performance parts for Mini Coopers, and there really isn't that much available. Surprisingly. Now, I'm sure overseas in the UK you see a whole lot more of it, but I mean, like, engine upgrades, you see maybe an exhaust manifold upgrade, a supercharger pulley, you can change that out. But other than that, they don't have performance blocks, intakes, high flow heads, or anything like that available for Mini Coopers.
Justin ATV says, Rustbelt, I'll message you on Instagram tomorrow sometimes. Later, guys, I have to hit the sack. My bed, not my nuts. Night, y'all.
Take it easy, Justin. Thanks for coming in.
Well, very clear.
Good clarification on that one.
Justin Dow says, getting tatted up, huh? What are you getting done?
What's up, Justin? Good to see you in the channel. getting the Rustbelt mechanic tattoo done. My wife was kind enough to kind of redo my logo, make it a little bit better, custom, and then getting it tattooed. You coming up for the next one? Everybody also, Justin Dow.
Oh, still.
Sorry. Mr. Justin Dow just hit 10,000 subscribers on his channel. So, yeah, he did. Pretty awesome.
Was I number 10,000?
No, so I tuned into his channel today just to watch it this morning. And I was like, yeah, I wonder what he's at. Went over to his channel, and it literally just clicked over 10,000. Like right at that moment.
Zach says, I want to be there for the next one.
Be here for the next one. It's not like you're that far away.
Where's he at?
Like 5 minutes up the road,
Oh, dumb shit.
up in like Eagles Nest area.
Zach just needs to come down and get one.
Yeah. We need to put you on the books for Ashley here. You need a Rustbelt mechanic tattoo? Maybe. And earlier, actually, Justin, we were talking about your video, the 5 best and worst Jeeps, which was a very good video, by the way. I didn't agree with everything. You know, I wouldn't have put some of them on the best list. I'd definitely added the Trackhawk to it. But your worst list, it had the Commander on it. I know you don't like working on them, but I want to take like half of the vehicles that you put on your worst Jeeps list, and I want to make them cool. Because they could be made to be cool. I want to see a 7-inch lifted Commander.
Yeah, I know.
I want to say something so bad.
What did he say?
We're over here biting our nails.
Ron and Lindsay are both in the background.
Yeah,
It's like they got candy flavored nails or something.
Yeah, we do. Let's see. Catching up on chat. Austin Bond says, come do my tattoo next.
Come here.
Warren says, do any videos with Mechanic OC lately?
No.
Just-
I've watched his channel here and there, and the Mechanic OC, he's a mechanic down in Orange County. No, down in like Florida-ish.
Justin says, thanks, brother. I appreciate all my subs. You guys are the bee's knees.
That's right.
Let's see. JRC says, you freaked out about the Renegade in the Batman movie.
Yeah, he did. He went on some kind of crazy tangent on that one. But I get where you're coming from, because that was like the shittiest of shitty Jeeps ever. To be put in a freaking Superman and Batman movie,
They must have paid a
It was
lot of.
Batman versus Superman.
They must have paid a
Oh, that's
lot of
right.
money.
I
to
want
have
to
that
know
in
how
there.
much Chrysler paid to put a freaking Renegade in that movie as like the prime spot for it. Like they had to pay a shit ton. And then they had the Batman Superman Renegade,
Oh yeah.
that version.
Did we have one come in one
We
time?
had 2 of them.
Did we?
Yeah, we had 2 of them, brand new on our lot. It was while we were still in the fire building,
Oh.
and sold those. And pretty much they came with the Batman Superman blacked out badges on them,
Mm-hmm.
and the blacked out wheels, and that was that version. Yeah, that was it.
Let's see. Justin says, I hated the fact that Bruce motherfucking Wayne was driving one.
Exactly. He's got an arsenal of fucking. Now, if the movie would have shown him like in the heat of the moment, he had to have a car to get across town, and he broke into somebody's, freaking Renegade to get across town. I could see that one a whole lot easier.
That might be acceptable.
That could have been something acceptable, but they didn't show that. He chose to drive a fucking Renegade through that movie.
Let's see. Somebody said something. Chandler Dose 2, I guess is how you say it. He said, oh shit, new ink.
That's right. That Rustbelt ink.
Justin says that would have made sense.
Yep, that would have made a whole lot more sense. But then Chrysler probably got mad and said, no, he has to choose the Renegade.
Maybe,
Like he
he's,
thinks
maybe
he's
he's
a
worried about
badass.
fuel economy or something. I don't know.
Worried about fuel economy while flying through busted up Gotham.
Yeah. Maybe that's when you have the haul his kryptonite around in. Strap it to the roof.
Now, if it would have been something cool, like transformed and had like tank tracks and something. Yeah, but no, it was a Renegade. And did you hear like all of the background noises that they made for this Renegade?
No.
They made it sound like an F1 car flying through Gotham. No, like no.
JRC says, yeah, he should have thrown someone out of the Renegade and said, "Get out, official bat business," in the deep voice.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman driving a Renegade. That's super cool.
Suck it.
Justin says, while being a billionaire.
Yeah.
It'd be like James Bond driving a Prius.
Go faster, go faster.
Oh wait, are they hybrid? You can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Don't make
Hybrid.
noise.
No, they just sound like.
What's that line in the Cars movie Vance always watches? She left me for a hybrid.
Yeah.
Didn't even hear him come.
Didn't even hear it. No, the hybrids, they have to have. They have 2 speakers mounted in the front fascia.
Why did I remember that? Out of all the lines in the Cars movie.
Like our Pacifica hybrid, they have to have 2 speakers mounted in the front fascia.
Mm-hmm.
Because while you're under 15 miles an hour, it's a whatever federally mandated thing that people can't hear the car. So like blind people might walk out in the road or something stupid like that. So they have to make an audible noise that sounds like an engine. Some kind of audible noise under 15 miles an hour. They have to make it.
So the car makes fake noise.
Yep.
Yes.
Just to.
It sounds like
to
a little
alert the deaf
spaceship.
people that it's
It
coming.
sounds like a jet.
It's like
Sworn,
a
you mean blind people, not deaf people.
Oh yeah, that's right.
them deaf people. They never heard it coming.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
to-
it makes like a whirring sound.
It sounds like a
Word
Jetsons.
sound?
It's like it's odd.
Andrew says it's the fake news of cars.
So if I ever owned one, I would find a way to put a different track on that.
What would you make it?
Rick Roll.
I would
Rick Astley.
no.
Just drive around and it just plays Rick Astley all the time.
No.
Should we do it?
No.
We shouldn't do it.
No, but I totally want to do the door chime reprogram for the Kia and make it Toto
Oh,
Africa. Like I saw in that one video.
Austin said the same thing I said earlier. You guys should be sponsored by Monster.
Should be.
Yeah.
If anybody knows a hookup at Monster, I'd be down for that. Should be.
Monster brings out the monster in you. Let's see. What else? JRC says, Ashley, my wife, is getting really excited about her tattoo this weekend.
Yeah, do I have free reign to do whatevs?
That's what he said.
John Hansen says, put a train horn on the Prius.
Yeah, under 15 mile an
Oh.
You can show it off, then I gotta bathe in bed.
There we go, guys.
What would a Prius sound like if they inserted an audible engine noise?
I don't know. It's kind of stupid. So there we are. That's what we're gonna have done for the night. We've got all the line work done on it. So we'll be doing more updates with shading here in the next couple weeks. But I guess we gotta let this one heal up a bit before we do any more.
Oh my god.
But
Bitchin'.
looks pretty badass.
I have to
Yeah, it
work
does.
tomorrow.
Pretty impressive. Have to say so myself.
Austin says, that looks killer. JRC says, yeah, free range.
Free reign.
Justin says, Monster and Jaeger, baby. Hell yeah, incredible Hulk it day.
Monster Jaeger.
Warren says, awesome job, Ash.
Thanks.
JRC says, that's huge.
Huge.
Do like I did on mine.
Working
Actually.
says-
I put my tape over top of my.
That's it.
Working to relax says, sweet, she's doing an awesome job. Kristen Pence says, looks great. Justin Dow says, cool, bro.
Kristen, I'm excited for your tattoo next Friday.
Ryan says, reminds me of that movie with Vince Vaughn when they make the electric Dodge Charger have real engine sounds and feelings. Heather says, awesome. J.C. Smith says, looks like my high school picture.
When you had a little bit more hair to you.
Andrew V says, looks good, just missing the JRC 54 under it.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Kristen Pence says, me too, Ash, and put 3 little ghosts behind it.
Aww.
Aiden says, can't wait to see what it looks like when it's done.
Me too.
Corey says, awesome job, Ash.
Don't even think about it. I'll tape it up. Ready to roll. Sweet.
High fives.
Nailed it. Doesn't hurt.
What's funny is people always think as tattoo artists we can handle tattoos really well. Like
They
half
can't.
the people in the shop are
Tattoo
little bitches.
artists are pusses when it comes to
Will
getting
you quit?
tattoos.
We're not all that
Most
way.
of them are.
I sat like a fucking rock yesterday. And I didn't eat for like 9 hours, which was my own fault. And I got like 10 minutes from being done, and everything started to get tingly. And I was like, I need sugar. I need sugar. I'm not going to pass out.
JC Smith says, class it up with a blue oval. Andrew V says, when's Ron getting his Kia for life tattoo? Justin Dell says, smash
Right
that.
over top of the big penis that'll be there too.
Justin Dell says, smash that thumbs up, guys and gals. Kristen says, 47 minutes past my bedtime.
Oh, it is. And she totally stayed up for it.
JRC says, the JRC 54 and Rustbelt logo coming together. That's a good idea.
Mhm.
Ew. Kind of little ugly, hairy babies would they make?
You're thinking about this?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, tattoo artists in their minds.
No, it's just Ashley and
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So like I said, whoever else is still left in chat, how many people are still in here?
Says 39.
39 people
Holding
still left
strong.
in chat. We're going to, kind of wind it down for the night. So next week on the Rustbelt live stream, we're going to be streaming live from Mr. JRC's casa, his
Unless
house,
there's a blizzard
and
that
or
comes through.
the shop. Dude, we got the Duramax. We can make it through blizzards. Whatever. I ain't worried about
You're
that.
gonna get back late.
So we're going to be we're coming back Sunday.
We have to. We have another meeting.
Yeah, we're staying the weekend there. So we're going to be live
It's
there
gonna be Saturday.
up in the
Probably.
Chi-Town, up in his shop. We're going to be doing live Q&A for the guys who are asking all the questions about the difference in dealership as compared to independent shop life, what kind of differences there are between those. So we'll be answering all you guys' cool questions, so make sure you get them all lined up for that one. Probably be putting out at least 2 or 3 videos this week because I got a list of videos that I have to get through. I kind of just got to buckle down and do it, get it done. Between tool update, I got the scanner, the meter from Snap-on to do. Got Captain Ron's intro for his to do this week. We'll be sure to get that one out probably in the next couple days also. Captain Ron's got to do a toolbox tour.
Mm-hmm.
Get him going on that one. So lots of cool stuff coming through the pipeline for you guys on that one. I think that's about all we got tonight, though. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's pretty awesome. All you guys are really cool and tuning in to this every week. I think it's been something cool that we've got started going on here. Pretty nice community that we got going on. I definitely like it.
So last run through for chat before we go. When's your next giveaway? Says Austin.
Mm,
Is that the only reason you come, Austin? Just for the giveaway shit?
he just likes the free shit.
I mean,
Who
who
doesn't
doesn't?
like
But
free shit?
just saying.
We'll
It's
see.
free, it's for me.
Maybe here in the next couple of weeks, we'll give some more stuff to give away. Usually a lot of that extra stuff that I have is from people who send me stuff for reviews. I can't always afford to give away, nice $50 to $100 giveaway things every single week, but I try to give away as much as I can because you guys are awesome and you do deserve some cool stuff to be given.
Warren says you still got your gas money fund.
We got plenty of gas money to go.
JC says I'm not getting tattoos anymore. That tramp stamp hurt bad enough.
Dude, I've been tattooing for over a year and I've not done a tramp stamp yet.
Not one.
Justin says
You
Rad
cover
can't
up mine.
Rad can't wait. Bring the monsters and hell I'll buy the Jaeger. Corey says good night. I'm out. Have a good work week. Let's see real quick. Warren says cool. I'll be there. Good night, boys. Have a good week. Aiden says he's off to have a beer. Working relax says have a good week.
Have 2 for me.
Big T says no story time.
No, not this week. We'll have one. We do have one story in the backlogs, and we'll take it with us for
Oh, God.
story time this next weekend.
Just says thanks for the stream. Cool tat. Nice work, Ash. Later, brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
Austin says, heck no, I love the content. And that's really about it.
Okay. Well, like I said, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for this awesome stuff coming up in the next week. You guys stay awesome.
Say bye, Ash.
Bam, bam.
Bye.
Say bye, bye, Captain Ron, Mrs. Ron. All over
Bye.
here. And I'll say bye too. See ya.
Can't find the close button.
I can't
I don't
find
know
the-
what I'm doing.
I don't even know. Wait, where'd it go?
Where'd
I
they
don't know.
go?